A Navy jet plunges out of the sky and crashes into the San Diego Bay like a rocket, causing an explosion of water. And this video shows the moment the jet dove into the water within striking distance of hotels, restaurants, and people along Shelter Island. The two crew members managed to eject and were rescued. Two of our ABC 10 News team members were down there on another story and saw the whole thing unfold right before their eyes. We're going to talk to them in just a minute, but first, my co-anchor Wally Aliou is joining us live now with information on the people who were there to help rescue those pilots. Wally.
And Kimberly, we are in that striking distance, as you mentioned, along some of the restaurants here, as we were going on about 7 hours since that crash happened in the bay right behind me. I've been speaking with some of the people who investigate crashes like these. They tell me this was a two-seater airplane, usually flown with a pilot in front and an electronic warfare officer in the back. We know the pilots were rescued out of the water by a nearby fishing boat. The two were then picked up by a Customs and Border Protection boat that brought them to dry land. That is according to the U.S. Coast Guard. They were taken to UCSD Medical Center. Right now, I want to get out to ABC 10 News reporter Perla Shaheen, who happened to be right there, Perla, right when the crash happened. Tell us what you heard and saw.
It was hard to process what we were seeing. I mean, we weren't sure what that was. My photographer, Isaac Cadrill, and I were just pulling on to Shelter Harbor Drive for a different story. And we were sitting just a few hundred yards away from the harbor when we saw that U.S. Navy fighter jet slam into these waters. Now, that made a huge booming noise, and we saw a wall of water erupt in response. This video shows a U.S. Navy fighter jet dropping from the sky. The jet nosediving into the harbor off the southern shores of Shelter Island around 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
I was terrified. That was scary. Like, my heart was racing because I thought something even worse was going to happen.
Witnesses were shaken up, including my photographer and I. We just happened to be sitting nearby reporting on a different story. We watched in shock as the plane hit the harbor. The impact made a loud booming noise and shot a wall of water into the air.
It was loud. It was like a flyby. Like they were it sounded like they were very low, because it was just so noisy.
I just saw all the water shoot up and then birds shot up too.
At that moment, it was a race to find the pilots on board.
Two pilots eject from the jet near Point Loma.
Dispatchers worked fast, tracking the path of their parachutes into the water.
Shift commanders requesting a dive team response.
The Navy later confirmed the pilots were trying to land the fighter jet when they ejected from the plane, leaving it to crash into the bay. They landed in the water, and within the next minute, a nearby fishing boat rescued them. Harbor police helped bring them to shore.
We assisted those good Samaritans getting to our police docks right over here, brought them up to our parking lot.
An ambulance took them to a nearby hospital. Coast Guard says the pilots are in stable condition, but we do not know the extent of their injuries. Tonight, we're waiting for an update from the U.S. Navy to understand what caused this crash. So far, they've put up this orange perimeter around the area of the crash to prevent the jet fuel from spreading into the ocean, and we will continue to give you updates as we get them. For right now, that is all that we know about this situation. Live on Shelter Island, Perla Shaheen, ABC 10 News.